What genres do you prefer? Smut, spice, and everything nice? Hey y'all, hey, it's your girl Jasmine and welcome to the Softest Read. I just realized after having published, I believe now about 10 videos on my BookTube, this channel, that I haven't properly introduced myself. So I want to use this video to introduce myself so you guys can get to know your girl. I don't lead a very boring life. I really feel like a lot of people that I see on BookTube or just on YouTube say, I want to create content, but I don't know what I want to talk about because I'm so boring. I was like, it never gave that over here. It never gave that over here. I have so many things I want to do. I'm like, y'all, I'm bursting with ideas. And I'm just trying to find the time to do them all. I have a 9-to-5 still. I have a business, the Hydrate a Hottie, and now this BookTube channel. And so I'm always having to like really relegate my time. And if I could do content creation full time, yeah, hell yeah. That's ultimately the goal. But it never get boring over here, baby. I love to create content. I love to read books. So without further ado, let's dive into who I am and why I created this channel. So the first question is, why did you join YouTube? So I joined YouTube because I needed this space to feel seen and to express myself. I've always wanted to vlog. I've always wanted to create content. Like, creating content makes me so happy and it's so much fun to me. I love doing it. I truly enjoy creating content. And I also always love to read books. I started reading in high school and I'll share later because one of the questions is how you got into reading. So I'm going to share later how I got into reading, but I've always loved stories, especially ones where Black women are soft, they're sensual, they're really in tune with their sensuality, their femininity. They're bold as fuck, they're complicated as fuck, and they're just interesting characters, and sometimes they're relatable. The characters are people that I feel like I know in real life. And also, of course, the men. I love reading about these men with all this BDE energy, honey. Love it. That's why I'm here. And to be quite honest, there's no YouTube channel that exists that's quite like mine, or at least I haven't found one. But because I couldn't find one that gave me all the grown and sexy vibes I was looking for, the cozy stuff is cool. I'm gonna do some cozy stuff on my channel too. Like, all of those vibes are cool, but I couldn't find a channel that actually gave me the grown and sexy, talked about spice, because I love talking about spice, y'all. In another life, I would have been a sex therapist, and to help women get more in tune with their sensuality and their sexuality. And I want to help women build their confidence in the bedroom. Not that I'm a know-it-all, but I really feel like I be doing a little something. I be doing a little something in the bedroom, you know. Y'all, a long time ago, a long time ago, I want to say maybe it's been 8 years now. We're in 2025, back in 2017, I used to run a sex, dating, and relationship blog where I talked about sex, I talked about relationships, I talked about dating. I actually had an advice column on my blog where women would send me their issues that they were going through, whatever they were going through with their man or their sex life. They were sending me emails about their issue, and I was answering them on my website. And that had grown a little popularity in 2017 before I don't know what it is, but I fell off. Like, I don't know why I fell off, but I fell off. And that was the end of that. But y'all, I've always been into sex. Y'all, I don't know why. I love me some spice. I love talking about sex. I've always been that friend to ask how the D was. You know, I want to know. Give me the tea. Give me the tea. But anyway, like I said, I was looking for a grown and sexy BookTube channel, and I couldn't find it. Because I couldn't find it, I was like, okay, Jasmine, go ahead and create this space, because I really feel like the girlies want it, you know? So the Softest Read is where I get to share my love for books, for softness, and for sensuality, and for pouring into me and self-care, one video at a time. So the next question is, what's unique about your channel? So my channel blends sensual self-care, and soft black femininity and spicy book talk all in one, okay? It's a motherfucking mood, okay? It's a mood over here. A mood. I'm not just reviewing books. I knew, like, for my channel, I didn't want to just review books, but I wanted to have real girl talk. I want to set the mood. I want to pour into myself. I want y'all to see me doing self-care, not only to market my business to Hydrate a Hottie, okay? Because no shame in my game, my stuff is the shit. And if you're a Hydrate a Hottie, let them know in the comments. But I also wanted to talk about smut and create cinematic visuals that match, like, the characters' energies, like whatever book I'm reading. I wanted to match that energy, and also remind black women that pleasure is our birthright. It goes beyond sex, okay? Pleasure to me means beyond the sexual stuff, even though the sexual stuff is nice. But pleasure means to me that you are pouring into yourself. You're doing all the things that bring you joy, that make you happy, and you're not giving a fuck about what the next person is saying about what you're doing. You're really living your life to the fullest. You're loving on yourself. You're treating yourself good. Self-care is the pinnacle of pleasure, okay? How you treat yourself, how you are doing your makeup, how you smell. To me, that brings pleasure to my life. Like, that makes me feel really good when I know I smell good and I'm doing it all for me. Pleasure is doing stuff for you and putting yourself first. Pleasure is being selfish with you, period. And where I am in my life, I'm finding pleasure in reading and in real life. So that's what I'm bringing to my channel. I'm bringing girl talk. I'm trying to help all the girlies really tap into themselves and learn how they could find pleasure through books and reading and softness and loving on themselves despite all the bullshit that's happening out here in the world, okay? It's me season for real. And it's you season too. Tap in. So the next question is, what are you most excited about? Honestly, y'all, I am so excited about creating a community. Like I said, I would love to be of assistance to help other black women really tap into themselves. And if I can be quite honest, in real life, I don't have a lot of friends who are like me, who like to read books. And a lot of my friends, like, they will talk about the sex with me, okay? They will really feed into my shenanigans. But for the most part, not having somebody to chat about these books with, it's been real sad, y'all. But over here at the Softest Read, I get so giddy inside talking about books, talking about spice, having girl talk. Like, it's a full-on mood. It just makes me so freaking happy. So that's what I'm most excited about, is creating that community. So the next question is, why do you love reading, and what are some of your favorite books? For me, y'all, reading has always been like a soft place for me to land. I was that fast-tailed girl who was I was reading books I had no business reading in high school. Hey, I'm just keeping it real. I used to lose sleep devouring romance, love stories, and imagining myself within those pages. I enjoy reading for the entertainment, the plot of it all, and because it really helps me lessen my anxiety. And I got anxiety because I got a lot of fucks to give, and I be giving a lot of fucks to everybody else, and I be forgetting to give fucks to me. And reading helps me give fucks to myself because it helps alleviate my stress. It's that escapism that everybody talks about because it's real. So that's why I love to read, because it feels like a moment where I'm really being selfish to myself, because it's a moment where I can have some real, true me time outside of the surface level stuff that people do for self-care. Reading is truly self-care for me. Some of my favorite books, I'm going to have to put some of them on the screen, and some of them I do have the physical copy of. My favorite books that are oldies but goodies. And I don't know if y'all ever heard of these authors, but let me know in the comments. But Allison Hobbs was that girl back in the day, okay? Now, if you want to talk about a book I had no business reading, this is it. And I was reading this in high school, baby. Allison Hobbs is the author that was signed underneath Zane Presents. And y'all know Zane, okay? So, Allison Hobbs, hold on, I got all my books here. They about to fall. Hold on. If y'all really want to read erotica, and y'all never read an Allison Hobbs book, and the glare is so bad, pick it up. I would highly recommend A Bonafide Gold Digger. This is book 1, and then this one's book 2. And the main character in this book, Milan, is something else, y'all. Actually, I feel like I want to reread this series because It was raunchy as hell. It's the raunchiest books I've ever read, because this girl she wanted the fucking fame. She wanted the money. Matter of fact, she didn't want the fame. She wanted the money, and she would stop at nothing to get it. And the way she was playing these men in this book, and a woman that she ended up playing, all for the love of money. She was it. And then, whatever she does in this book, it leads to this book, Pure Paradise. And in this book, she's actually trying to find love now that she done did all this shit to get some damn money. And she going through some shit up in here. So highly recommend that y'all read Allison Hobbs, okay? Start with the Bonafide Gold Digger. And the cover is about to fall off. This is how long y'all know I had this book. And I haven't been taking good care of it. But yeah, honey, start here for the spice, okay? Zane presents. Can y'all see? Zane presents. Another oldie but goodie that I really, really love was Raunchy. Raunchy by T Styles. I believe it's about a 6-book series, y'all. And when I tell you I read this my freshman year in college and devoured it, okay? And I love reading raunchy. When I say raunchy, I mean like these women are doing nasty shit, okay? When I mean by nasty, they are fucking 2-3 guys within a 2-day span, okay? Raunchy is about a mother named Harmony who, from a very young age, she was just doing nasty stuff very, very fast. You're literally reading about her story from when she was young and her being in these streets, and then when she has kids and how she's still in these streets, and then her kids doing stuff in these streets. And it's just way too much. And it's just you really seeing a generational cycle of raunchiness, and it's entertaining. It's entertaining. Highly recommend that y'all pick up Raunchy by T Styles. That's one of my favorite books, just because it's just so crazy. Some of the stuff that went on in that book is just out this world. I have never read a book that was so full of drama. Raunchy is raunchy. It literally lives up to its title, name, period. Pick it up. And my last oldie but goodie favorite books were The Roundaway Girls. And if you weren't reading The Roundaway Girls, were you really a book girly back in the day? I had the entire series, y'all, but I made the fucking mistake of lending this out to friends over the years, and unfortunately, those are people I'm no longer friends with, so... Unfortunately, I just can't get my books back. It is what it is, but The Roundaway Girls, when I tell you, it was like 3 stories in one book, and all the stories are good. I don't think I ever read a bad short story within the Roundaway Girls book series. Each book features 3 different authors and 3 different stories, honey. And these, I used to gobble these up, honey. I used to save my allowance money to go to Walmart and buy them because they used to be at $5.24. That's how much it was for this book, $5.24. And I used to buy a book a week back in the day. Baby, I miss the days when books were $5. I don't think I've seen $5 books in a long time. It's been a hot minute. But yeah, oldie but goodie. Now, 3 of my favorite books that I read that are new is Losing Control by Lady Nisha. If y'all haven't already, I did a whole full video about Losing Control. Y'all, I just can't explain how that book made me feel. I felt so seen within the main character, Marley, and the trauma that she was experiencing. So it's one of my favorite books. Also, The Connect's Wife by Nako. Now, this did come out, I want to say, it's probably almost been a decade since that book came out. When I first read The Connect's Wife and I learned who Nako was, I befriended her on Facebook and learned that she was around my age. And at that time, I wanted to be an author too. And just reading her stories inspired me to really take that step and write and publish my first book as well. Reading The Connect's Wife was what inspired me to truly launch my writer's journey all those years ago. So The Connect's Wife, if y'all had not read that book yet, please tap the fuck in. It's so good and it's so layered. There's so many characters, but it's not hard to follow. And what I love about Neko is that she's always dropping gems, like life lessons in all of her books. You're gonna walk away from something, and that's what I enjoy the most about Neko. The next question is, what got you into reading? So y'all are not ready for this story, but please get ready, okay? And I'm gonna try not to be so long-winded with this story, so bear with me, because it's a lot. It's crazy. So y'all, my parents were in the military, and my stepdad was deployed to South Korea. And so he was down there, and my mom wanted to go visit him. So she ended up leaving for a full-on month to go visit my stepdad. Now, while my mom was down there in South Korea, she left my older sister. I'm gonna say her name is Shamika. She left my older sister Shamika in charge of me and my younger sister, right? Now, Shamika was already out the house. She had a husband and she had kids. And so my mom had told her to come to our house to watch us because my mom didn't trust us. She thought that if we were alone, we would be throwing a party in the house, and we had a pool in the backyard. And so she thought we would be throwing pool parties, drinking, doing what teens do. And at the time I was 14. So I was like, she probably right. You right. I would be throwing a party while you're not here for a full month, ma'am. You're gone for a month? But anyway, Shamika was staying with us, and Shamika is relaxed. She had dudes over in the house too. And I'm saying, I shouldn't say that because she was married, and I should not say that. So all the while that Shamika is living with me and my younger sister throughout this month, her husband is at home with their 2 kids. And then also Shamika gets a frantic call from her best friend. And her best friend was trying to come, I guess, move to where we were because she had gotten into it with her dude and she needed a place to stay. So my sister, being the kind person that she was at that time, is that she let her best friend move in with her. Mind you, the best friend was staying in her house with her nigga and her kids while she was over our house pretty much 95% of the time, okay? So y'all, I don't know, I want to say it was like either the 3rd or the last week that Shamika was staying with us, that my mom was out of town, when Shamika gets a call from the police station, and apparently it's her husband on the other line. Y'all, tell me why Shamika did not know that her husband was selling drugs out of her house. And not only was he selling drugs, but so was her best friend selling drugs out of her house. And that apparently, here's the kicker, her husband had been doing that for months, okay? And they had been building this case up. And it just so happened that they did a full-on SWAT police raid at her house while her husband was there, and her kids and her best friend. When I tell you the police came in and arrested her husband and the best friend, because come to find out the best friend had some drugs too. Listen, if my sister allows me, I will write this damn book for her. I will write this book for her because it's so juicy. Like the material's there. The material is right there. Anywho, so when I tell you Shamika was distraught, okay? Like, who wouldn't be that you just found out your husband's been selling drugs unbeknownst to you this whole entire time, and then the SWAT team did a full raid. You're embarrassed because everybody in your neighborhood knows now. Like, it's all over the news, like, about this police raid. It was big news in El Paso, Texas. At that time, we lived in El Paso, Texas. And when I tell you, nothing jumps off there for real. Like, it's such a quiet town. A lot of people move there to retire. It's nothing that really be popping off over there. It's nothing but a military base. If you see black people in El Paso, 9 times out of 10, 10 times out of 9, they're there because of the military. They're not there because they want to be. Or they could be really, really old and want to retire there because they want to retire in peace and quiet. So, like, this was big news, y'all. It was major. Shamika had asked me and my younger sister to come with her. My younger sister at the time was 12. I was 14. She had asked us to come with her to her house to see what the hell was going on. And so, when I tell y'all, when we walked into the house, it looked like Hurricane Katrina came through. When I tell you, everything was destroyed and strewn about. It was it was really sad because Shamika just started crying. She couldn't believe like everything she worked so hard for was pretty much destroyed. They had broken a lot of stuff, picture frames, just looking for drugs. You know, they don't give a damn. When they do a SWAT raid and they looking for stuff, baby, they do not care. And so they destroyed the kids' rooms too. It was just a mess, y'all. It was sad. Shamika had asked if me and my younger sister could help her clean up everything, and of course, yeah, I'm there. And so I was tasked with cleaning the guest bedroom that my sister had her best friend staying in there, because the best friend was in prison too at this time. Both her husband and the best friend were in jail. So y'all, I'm cleaning the guest room. I'm trying to, you know, put things back together, and I see boxes of books, and I'm just like the first book I saw within the box was this, y'all. And when I tell you the book looked just like this, falling apart. But this was the first book I saw in the box. And so I was intrigued. I was like, wait a minute. Zane, sex, getting book, wow. Y'all, I had sat my ass on a dirty ass floor on top of toys, all kinds of stuff. And I read the first story, because this book is full of mini stories that Zane had wrote, little mini stories. And I read the first story, and when I tell y'all, I was blown away. I was hooked. I was like, oh my God. And I'm just going through the box. I'm finding more Zane books. I'm finding Allison Hobbs. That's actually how I got my Allison Hobbs books, from that book box. Y'all, this box belonged to my sister's friend. And so I asked my sister, once we were done for the day, I said, hey, what you want to do with these box of books? And she said, I'm throwing them away. I said, no, I want them. And she was like, go ahead and have them. Y'all, it was over 30 books in that damn box. And that, my friends, was the beginning of my love for spice. I had never read, like, for real, a book outside of English class that I truly enjoyed before like that. And so in that box, it was nothing but smut. It was Zane, Allison Hobbs, Erica Jerome Dickey, Carl Weber. Y'all, all the books that I still have to this day from that box. Books I had no business reading from that box. It literally launched my joy of reading. Who would have thought it? Who would have ever thought that me happening across some books because of my sister's tragedy would be the reason why I love books today? That's crazy. Y'all, that is so crazy. But that's my story. So the next question is, what genres do you prefer? Smut, spice, and everything nice? I love romance in all of its forms, but especially when it's black, capital B, black, bold, and a little bit of messy, sexy, sensual. I gravitate towards contemporary and paranormal and erotica, and I'm a sucker for a little toxic love interest, like in a redemption arc. Give me the motherfucking drama. Give me the tension, the heat, the softness, the pain. Give it all to me, and the pleasure. Okay, I need the pleasure. The last question is, show me your book collection. Y'all, I live in a small ass apartment, and I have no shelf space. I have like a built-in bookshelf, but I only have a few books there, and I can show y'all what the books are. And then I have a desk in my apartment where I have some books on the desk. And then recently I just made space by one of my plants where I put some books or stacked some books from the floor. And then I do have a bookshelf in my room where I have 2 shelves that are filled with books. However, the other shelves are used for the hydrator hottie, just because my apartment is small and I don't have a lot of storage space, and I need to be able to quickly grab a body butter or oil to package and order. So I use that bookshelf for my products. But I did get some floating bookshelves that I want to put in my space, but again, y'all, I don't know where to put it. Like, I'm about to show y'all. It's super dark up in here, but I got some Terry McMillan, some self-help about boundaries. Grace Naylor, I was reading her when I was in school, getting my bachelor's degree in English. Eric Jerome Dickey. I have some Gabrielle Union. Now, this book was really good by her. We're going to need more wine. Carl Weber. Oh, y'all. Pussy Prayers, period. Read it if y'all haven't read it yet. Read it, tap in. Salvage the Bones. Black Cake. There's a show on Hulu. If y'all haven't seen it, watch it. It's so freaking good. Sarah Jakes Roberts. Taraji P. Henson, and some more self-help, self-care books. Down here is where I got my mess, y'all. I gotta clean up off my desk, but there's more self-help journals, Kennedy Ryan, games women play by Zaire, and then also these are all self-help, pretty much. These are self-help books. Let That Shit Go, Mind Your Market by Mercy B. Carruthers, and then She Just Wants to Forget. This is a book of poetry. Then also, y'all, my journal, Worthy to Be Watered. Then I have some books that are by my little plant right here. More Allison Hobbs, Monica Walters, Mary Monroe, Alexandra Warren, and then I got some more Kennedy Ryan, Dana's Dream over here. Did y'all read these? I gobbled these up in high school too, y'all. These were super good, and they were short, little mini books. And this is my self-help book, my sex, dating, relationship guidebook that I wrote all those years ago, back in 2017, y'all. I pulled it from Amazon, but I'm thinking about republishing it. I'm not sure, but yeah, this is my first ever self-help book. The Hate You Give. I got some writing books or whatever, some Carl Weber, Allison Hobbs, Kiki Swenson. Y'all, did y'all read Diamond Girls too by Diamond S. Poole, Miasha, Deja King, T Styles? These were some writing girls back in the day, and look, $4.97. Back when the books were like $5 at Walmart. I miss those days. Mary B. Morrison. Some more Kiki Swenson. I got some Takira Allen. Too Devout. I got the Devout one too. I need to organize my bookshelf, to be quite honest. I have books everywhere. Y'all, these are my books. Married Is My Type is one of my first books. Well, this was like my 5th book that I ever published. A Teaspoon of Love and Revenge was my 2nd book I ever published, and this was the 3rd book I ever published. This was the 2nd book in the series, A Teaspoon of Love and Revenge. So that was my little book collection, y'all. It's not a lot because most of my books are on my Nook, which is my e-reader that was from Barnes & Noble, and I got that, I want to say, my sophomore year in high school. And then now, today, I'm a Kindle Unlimited girly and an Audible book girly. So a lot of my books are now on Kindle Music Reader. And this is a book that I'm currently reading, Leak It by A Blossom. And I have about 30 more minutes in this read, but all of my books are now on Kindle, and I have so many Kindle books. I have so many, y'all. But that's my little collection for now that's in my house. Hopefully I can move into a larger space where I could get better bookshelves. I did get some, like I said, I got some floating bookshelves, but I don't even know where to put them in my house. I don't know where to put them right now, so I'm just trying to figure that out. But wherever I put them is where I want to be able to create content at. I want y'all to be able to see my books. I mean, what's a BookTube girly without her books showing, you know? So that's in the works. That's coming soon, so stay tuned. And I'll probably bring y'all through the whole entire process of me trying to find space for my books in my apartment. But right now, I have to do what I gotta do, and I have to use what I got. But that's it for me today, y'all. I just wanted y'all to get to know me a little bit more, why I created the Softest Read, who I am, and what kind of books I enjoy, and what I plan to talk more about on this channel. I really appreciate everyone who tunes into my videos. It really means so much to me. Y'all just do not know when I be seeing all the views. If softness and sensuality and self-care and spicy books are your thing, please do not forget to like and subscribe to my channel, because there's going to be more of it over here, period. Okay? And don't forget to stay hydrated, stay true to yourself, keep pouring into yourself, and flipping those pages, babe. And I'll see y'all next time. Mwah.